You know that the range of projectile is V naught square sine 2 theta by g. At what angle of projection range will be maximum? We know that. So, this range depends on initial velocity, square of the initial velocity and the angle of projection as it is constant. So, range depends on angle of projection also. If V naught is constant, for same initial velocity, if you keep on changing the angle of projection, here what happens? For small angle, range will be small. This is theta 1. If angle increases, the range will increase. If it is theta 3, range will be R3. That means this is R1. This is R2. This is R3 and so on. So, for what angle of projection the range will be maximum? We know that if theta increases, goes on increases, range will increase. But it is also found that for this the range will be same. That means what is this angle? If it is theta 2 for this one it should be 90 minus theta 2, because as these ranges are equal, one angle must be theta 2, the other angle if it is theta 2 and this angle must be 90 minus theta 2. It is found that the range is maximum in this diagram. For this diagram, this is the maximum range, that is R3 is maximum here. So, what is this angle of projection? Theta 3. If R is maximum, for maximum range, see, for maximum range also depends on square of the velocity. If the square of the initial velocity is constant, that means for a given value, let us say this is also constant and this is already constant. So, range depends on sine of 2 theta for maximum range, or directly proportional to sine 2 theta if V naught is constant for a given value. So, here if R is maximum, then sine 2 theta also maximum. But what is the maximum value of sine 2 theta? Sine 2 theta is maximum if you take the sine table, sine 0 0, sine 30 1 by 2, sine 45 1 by 2, sine 90 is maximum. So, the maximum value of sine theta is equal to 1. So, here theta is it must be equal to 90 for this to have maximum value. So, here sine 2 theta is maximum. So, what is the sine of this value? This must be 1, because in sine 1 is the maximum. So, sine 2 theta is maximum. What we can write? Sine 2 theta is equal to, it should be sine 90, 2 theta is equal to 90, theta is 45 degrees. So, in this, when the range is maximum, compulsory this angle of projection must be equal to 45 degrees. So, the range of projectile is maximum if theta is 45. Next, velocity of a projectile at any instant of time. We know that if the initial velocity is V naught, this can be resolved into two components. One is a horizontal component of velocity V naught cos theta, the other one is V naught sin theta. So, at this somewhere at this instant, the horizontal velocity remains as V naught cos theta. Why? Because the acceleration of a projectile in the horizontal direction is 0. So, horizontal velocity never changes. Even at this point it is V naught cos theta, at this point this is V naught cos theta, even here it is V naught cos theta. So, horizontal velocity remains constant throughout the trajectory of the projectile. But what about the vertical velocity? If it is V naught sin theta initially, this will be Vy1, and here this is a Vy is 0, this is a Vy1, or this is equal to Vy2, and final velocity will be, once again this will be V naught sin theta. Now, at some instant of time, let me take this point once again P, at this instant of time, after some time interval. So, at time t, here time is 0. So, at this point, that means when projectile reaches point P, at point P, what is the horizontal velocity? Horizontal velocity, that is along x-axis, is given by V naught cos theta. But what is vertical velocity? So we know here this is V naught sin theta, but what about the velocity here? Vy1. So Vy1 is question mark. So how to find this value? We have this formula V square minus V naught square is equal to 2ax. The final velocity Vy1 square minus this is V naught sin theta whole square is equal minus 2g. This displacement that we have to find. But here when time is given, instead of using this displacement y, you can write y here. So this is Vy1 whole square is equal V naught square sin square theta minus 2gy. From this what we can say, Vy1 can be written as root over V naught square sin square theta minus 2gy. If it is V naught sin theta, this value is V naught square sin theta minus 2. That means this value is less than V naught sin theta. Now, if time is given, the same expression can be written as, instead of a displacement formula, here I can write V is equal to V naught plus AT when time is given. So this can be written as V naught y plus AT. V naught y is initial velocity along y axis, which is given by V naught sin theta plus A is equal to minus g at a time t. So what is velocity along y axis at that point P? This is V naught sin theta minus gt. This is along x axis, this is along y axis. Now here at this point projectile has two velocities which are mutually perpendicular to each other. One is V naught cos theta, other one is V naught sin theta minus g. So what is the resultant velocity at this point? The resultant velocity at this point is given by, so I am finding that one velocity of projectile at an instant of time. V at point P is equal to, as these two are vectors, the sum of these two is given by this vector. So this vector V is given by sum of these two. So that is root over P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So we can write this as Vx square plus Vy1 square plus 2 into Vx into Vy1 cos theta. Here, what is the angle between this? Let us say this is P vector, this is Q vector. Angle between these two is 90. So this directly I can write this as 90 degrees. So cos 90 is 0, this term will become 0. So velocity at any instant of time for a projectile at point P is given by Vx square plus Vy1 square. What is Vx? This is V naught cos theta whole square. What is Vy? This is V naught sin theta minus gt whole square. So this is the expression to find out velocity at any point. This can also be written as, by simplification, we can write simply, this is Vx square at that point, Vy at that point. So this is the simple equation, but here I substitute these values. That's it. Now, is the angle changes or not? Here angle of projection was theta, but here you see this is not theta, it reduced to alpha. Here velocity is only along this direction, no vertical velocity. So here the angle of this one, angle made by resultant with the horizontal will be 0 here, theta is 0, but here let me take it as alpha. But how to find this one? You just draw the same diagram here. This is a V naught cos theta, this vector, and the other vector is V naught sin theta minus gt. So this is V naught sin theta minus gt, and the resultant of these two vectors is this one, this is V, and angle is alpha. How to find this alpha? We have this formula, tan alpha is equal opposite side by adjacent side, that is V along y axis by V along x axis. So alpha is equal to tan inverse of velocity along y axis by velocity along x axis. So this is alpha here. But if you substitute these values, because these values are known values, alpha can be written as tan inverse of Vy. Vy is equal to this one, V naught sin theta minus gt by V naught cos theta. This is the angle made by that resultant velocity at that point P, that means at any instant of time. If you know this time, we can find out the angle made by the velocity vector at that with horizontal. So, this is how you can find the magnitude of the velocity at an instant of time. This is the magnitude and this is the direction of the velocity at that particular instant of time. See, this is one of the most important model in PUC. A cricket ball is thrown at a speed of 28 meter per second. So, this is 28 meter per second in a direction 30 degrees above the horizontal. So, calculate the maximum height, the time taken by the ball to return to the same level and the distance from the thrower to the point where the ball returns to the same level. So, what they are asking? They are asking to find out maximum height, that is H max, the time taken by the ball to return to the same level. So, when it is thrown here, it will return to the same level here. So, time taken means nothing but this is the time of flight, and the third one, distance from the thrower to the point. So, this is the point from where the thrower is throwing the ball to return to the same level from here to here. So, they are asking the horizontal distance. So, nothing but directly they are not asking us to find out the range, and we need to find out range here. So, these are the three quantities that we have to find. Now, the solution, what is the given data here? Here I can write the initial velocity is 28, the angle of projection is 30 degrees, and even though it is not given, you can take small g as 9.8 meter per second square. So, in the first case, I am going to find out the maximum height. First, write the formula V naught square sin square theta by 2g. This is the formula. So, here the maximum height is given by V naught is the initial velocity which is given as 28. This is 28 square sin square 30 degrees by 2 into 9.8. Here, this is 28 square into sin 30 is 1 by 2 whole square. This will become 1 by 2 whole square by 19.6. You can solve these problems by using calculators in PUC. So, this will be 28 into 28 will be 784. So, let me write 784. 1 by 2 whole square will be 1 by 4 by, this is 19.6. So, this is divided by 19.6 will be 440. So, this get cancels with 40 times 4 ones, so 4 times. So, the maximum height in this problem is 10 meters. That means body is going to reach 10 meters height. So, this will be 10 meters. Now, what is B? B, they are asking us to find out the time of flight. The time of flight is given by T is equal to 2 V naught sin theta by g. This is 2 into 28 sin 30 degrees by g will be 9.8. So, this is 28 into 2, 56. This is 1 by 2 into 9.8. So, 56 by 19.6. So, 56 by 19.6 will be 2.857. So, this will be 2.857 seconds. So, the distance from the thrower to the point where the ball returns to the same level, that is R. We need to find out R value here. So, R is equal to V naught square sin 2 theta by g. What is V naught value? 28. This is H max value, already we got it as 10 meter. So, here 28 whole square sin 2 into 30 degrees by g 9.8. So, 28 square is, we know this value is 784, already we got it there, sin 60 by 9.8. So, this is 784 by 9.8 into sin 60 root 3 by 2. Now, 784 into 1.732, this is 1357, 1357.88 by, This is 19.6. So answer is 69.28 seconds. So the time taken by this one will be, the range of this one will be 69.28 meters. So this is a time of flight is 2.857. So this is very important model. So in general they may ask you to find out any two, maybe maximum height or range, or time of flight and maximum height, or range and time of flight for 5 marks. Here, if you observe this diagram, the initial velocity is v naught sin theta in vertical upward direction. The velocity with which it strikes the ground is v naught, and this velocity is once again we have written v naught sin theta only. Let us say the final velocity on striking the ground in vertical direction is vy. Now, if you consider only the vertical direction of projectile, vertical motion of projectile, in the vertical motion of this projectile, now the initial velocity is initial vertical velocity or vertical component of velocity. Here directly I am writing vertical velocity. Initially it was v naught sin theta. When it is going up, acceleration is equal to a is equal to minus g, and when it reaches from O to B, when it reaches B from O, the net displacement is 0 here. Net displacement y is equal to 0, and the final velocity, that is only the vertical, this is initial vertical velocity. Here final vertical velocity Vy is a question mark. Now, in this case, we know two velocities, acceleration, displacement. So we can use that formula v square minus v naught square is equal, from that equation v square minus v naught square is equal to 2ax. The final velocity that we are finding vy square, the initial velocity v naught sin theta whole square is equal, this is 2 minus g. When the particle or the projectile reaches point B, so it has some vertical velocity in positive direction and vertical velocity in negative direction. So net displacement, we know this is 0, so displacement is 0. So vy square is equal v naught sin theta whole square. So velocity in y direction while striking the ground, this is vy, is equal to v naught sin theta. So that means the velocity with which body is going up at a particular point is equal to the velocity with which it is going to travel in the opposite direction. The only thing is the signs will change. Here, let us say the velocity in this case v naught sin theta is 20. Here, let us say this is 10, and this will become 0. And at the same level here, the vertical velocity will be minus 10. Here, this is plus 10. At the same horizontal level, this will be minus 10. If it is 20, at the same vertical horizontal level, this will be minus 20. That means, if it is v naught sin theta, this will be also minus v naught sin theta. So this is the final velocity with which the body is going to strike the ground in vertical direction is v naught sin theta, but the horizontal velocity never changes. That's why this velocity, the resultant velocity, remains as the velocity with which it is thrown up. So when it is going with velocity v naught here, it will strike this one with velocity v naught only. Why? Because horizontal velocity has not changed, vertical velocity remains same, only the direction has changed. That's why the direction of the velocity, final velocity will change. Now, in this case, now if you take a body which is thrown vertically upwards, here for a, this is not a projectile, when a body thrown vertically upwards at an angle 90, actually it will not follow this path. Let us say for this one, if I say this is a 30 meter per second, what is the velocity with which the body is going to strike the ground? Here this is also 30, but minus 30 meter per second. This is plus 30 meter per second. So after some time, let us say this is 20 meter per second. At the same height, this will be minus 20 meter per second. Let us say here somewhere this is 10 meter per second. This will be 10 meter per second. Let us say this is 3 meter per second, and at the same level this is minus 3 meter per second. Why? Because you can use for this path from here to here, net displacement is 0. So whenever net displacement is 0, those two velocities at the same level must be same. So by using this concept, you can say that the velocity while going up in one direction is equal to the velocity of the same body while coming down at the same point. That means at the same height from the ground or at same level, same horizontal level. That means velocities are equal but opposite. But if you say speed, then it will be easy for us. Speeds are equal at the same horizontal level. For a body projected upwards or for a body thrown at an angle theta. That is, this is true for vertically thrown up body, as well as projectile also. Here for projectile we proved this one. Projectiles can be divided into two types. If you take a projectile, we know what is my projectile. These two can be divided into two types. This can be divided into two. One is a horizontal projectile and this is a oblique projectile. Already we studied about oblique projectile. That is, if a body thrown at an angle theta with horizontal with velocity v naught, which is moving only under the gravitational field, then it is called oblique projectile. That means it is thrown at an angle theta where theta is not equal to 90. And here in this case theta is also not equal to 0. Theta is not equal to 0 degrees. Suppose if theta is equal to 0, that means from a point O, if a body is thrown like this and this is the ground level, so it is thrown from a height horizontally along x-axis. Remember, body never travels along x-axis throughout its journey. So due to the gravity, this body will travel in a curved path, along a curved path. So this path is also parabola. So today we will prove that this horizontal projectile also moves along a parabolic path. So here, what are the examples for this one? Let us say one aeroplane is moving with the velocity aeroplane VA bar. Now from this, let us say they dropped one bomb. So this is a military aeroplane. If a bomb is dropped, this bomb never falls vertically downwards. If it is the ground, this will not move along this path. This you might have experienced so many times while traveling in a car. If a car is at rest, if you drop the Kurkure packet, empty Kurkure packet, through the window, it falls vertically downwards when the car is at rest. If car is moving and if you drop the empty Kurkure packet, that packet never moves or falls in a vertical direction. That will move along with your car for some time due to the air friction, due to the gravity. Because of these two, then it falls under gravity and it moves in a parabolic path. That means if a car is moving with some velocity, already I told you, while discussing about projectile, we need to consider only the gravitational force, only gravity. We must not consider the other forces, that is air friction or some other frictions here, other forces. So when the car is moving with some velocity v car, now if a Kurkure packet or a lace packet is dropped from the car and it never falls in a vertical direction, as the car is moving, this packet will get the velocity of the car. That means this packet will move along x-axis with this velocity. Along y-axis its velocity is 0 only because it is dropped. Along y-axis 0, but along x-axis the velocity along x-axis is v car. So resultant of these two will be in this direction. That's why Kurkure packet will move along a parabolic path. So a bomb dropped from aeroplane is an example for this horizontal projectile. A bomb dropped from an aeroplane at a height from the earth, above the earth. Similarly, a lace packet or Kurkure packet dropped from a moving vehicle, that may be a car, bus, scooter, whatever may be vehicle. Similarly, if you project a stone from the top of a building horizontally, a stone thrown horizontally from the top of a building. So these are some of the examples for horizontal projection. We can give a large number of examples here. So these are some of the examples. Now let me derive the equation of horizontal projectile. So in this case, bomb never falls here. Bomb will move with the aeroplane for some time and then it moves in a parabolic path. But how can you say that this is parabolic path? As we discussed earlier, the equation of straight line is equal to y is equal to mx, and the equation of parabola y is equal to ax minus bx square, or y square is equal to 4ax, or x square is equal to 4ay. If the equation of a line or the curve is given as y is equal to ax minus bx square, y square is equal to 4ax, or x square is equal to 4ay. So if the equation of a line is in this form, then we can say that the path of that particle moving along that line must be a parabola. Now here in this case, I am going to take one body which is thrown horizontally from a height h above the earth surface, that is about ground level. Let me take, this is the ground level here, and this is a building or tower or some objects. Okay, now here if an object is thrown horizontally with velocity ux, that is velocity along x-axis, it is thrown horizontally. When it is thrown horizontally, as this angle is 90 degrees, what is the vertical component of this velocity? Body thrown horizontally, this velocity, if it is vector, this is ux cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. So the velocity along y-axis will be 0. For any body which is thrown horizontally, vertical velocity is 0. For any body which is dropped, and the horizontal velocity also 0. Even if the body is thrown downwards, the horizontal velocity will be 0. That means velocity component perpendicular to a given vector is always 0. Now, after this, let us say, let the height of this building is, let me take it as y, because this is along y-axis, and this body is moving under two accelerations. That is, as it is having velocity in this direction, and here also even the velocity is 0, but after some time the velocity gradually, this is initial velocity in this direction. So as it goes, the resultant velocity will be in this direction. That's why the body will move in this path. So at any point, the horizontal velocity remains as ux only. Why? Because already we discussed this one. For a projectile which is moving under gravity, the other forces are negligible or should not be considered. So only the gravity is acting. So gravity is acting vertically downwards, ay is equal to 0. So here this will express only acceleration in a vertically downward direction. The acceleration in the horizontal direction, even for this horizontal projectile, is also 0. So velocity here ux. After some time velocity will be ux only. Even on striking the ground also, the horizontal velocity remains as ux only. Why? Because ax is 0. There is no acceleration in horizontal direction. But what about the vertical direction? Here velocity is 0. Here I should not consider, I should not show this line also. But to indicate this one, I am just showing this vy is 0. Here this will be vy1, and here it will be vy, final velocity. So this is uy, this is vy. So the resultant of these two will be in this direction. So we will find it later. Now, the horizontal distance traveled by this body here in this case, because it is striking this point, let us say this is A and the striking point is B. So the distance between these two is horizontal distance is x. Now, as this body has two directions of motion, so first let me consider horizontal motion of this projectile. Horizontal motion, that is along x-axis. So what is this horizontal motion? So we can write what are the known values here? The horizontal velocity is not changing throughout its journey. So horizontal velocity is equal ux. It is given, initially it is given as ux. What is the acceleration horizontal direction? The acceleration is ax is 0. Let the time taken by this body to reach this point or to strike the point B. So time taken is t. Let the horizontal distance traveled in this case is given as x. So horizontal displacement, now I need to write horizontal here. The displacement in horizontal motion is x. So we can connect all these four with an equation x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square. Here velocity ut plus half a t square. So from that equation x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square. From this equation, if you substitute these values, you will get the horizontal distance is x, the horizontal velocity is ux, the time taken is t, and this is 0. So from this we can write the time taken by this body to reach the ground is horizontal distance traveled by the initial horizontal velocity. Now let me take the vertical motion of this body. Vertical motion, because when it strikes this ground, it covers some horizontal displacement as well as it covers some vertical displacement. So vertical motion of this particle, if you consider, the vertical velocity is given by uy, which is equal to 0, initial velocity. The acceleration in this case is given by a is equal to plus g. And what is the time taken here? Time taken for this body to reach this point is x by ux. What is the time taken for this body to reach this point along y direction? That is also x by ux. And the vertical displacement is indicated with y. This is a vertical motion. So vertical displacement is equal to y. Now once again, let me use the same expression x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square. If you substitute in that equation x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square, you can write x is equal to y here in this case in vertical motion. Initial velocity, as the body is thrown horizontally, vertical initial velocity will be always 0. 0 plus half into g into, what is this t? This is x by u. So x by ux whole square. So y is equal half or g by 2 x square by ux. So you can write y is equal g by 2 ux into x square. See this equation, y is equal to something into x square. Now that equation you can write it as, the final expression is y is equal to g by 2 ux into x square. So y is equal to some constant a, because g is constant 9.8, 2 is constant, and the horizontal velocity with which the body is thrown is also constant. So these are all constant into x square. So this equation is y is equal to ax minus bx square. Suppose a is 0 and minus b, let us say a. So this can also be written as a into x square or b into x square or c into x square, any form. So you can take this as y is equal to ax square is also an equation of parabola, or you can write x square is equal to 1 by a into y, where 1 by a is equal to 4a. So x square is equal to 4ay. That is also equation of parabola. So this is how you can find out. We can say that the path of horizontal projectile is also parabola. In the same case, sometimes they may ask you to find out the range of horizontal projectile. How to find the range of horizontal projectile? Range of horizontal projectile. You can see range is the horizontal displacement in time of flight. Here the time taken by this body to travel here is the time of flight. So what I am going to do to find out this range, that we denote with x here. So we have x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square. So x is the range here, range of the horizontal projectile. This x can also be written as r. What is the horizontal velocity? That is ux into t. So this is equation 1. in general already we discussed this as t as r by ux. But here I need r value. We know only the horizontal velocity. How to find out the time? To find the time, that is time of flight, time taken by this body to reach the ground, let me consider the vertical direction motion along vertical direction. So here y is equal to v naught t plus half g t square. Initial vertical velocity in this direction is 0. So y can be written as half g t square. T square is equal to 2y by g. The time taken is given by 2 root over 2y by g. So now the range of this horizontal projectile is given by horizontal velocity into the time taken by this one to reach the ground is equal to root over 2y by g. Y is nothing but the height of the point from above the ground. So you can write it root over 2y by g. In the option or in the question, if it is given as y as height of the building, this can also be written as the horizontal velocity with which the body is thrown into root over 2h by g. So this is the range of this horizontal projectile. How to find out velocity at any instant? Let us want to find out velocity at this point. So velocity of this particle, that projectile, horizontal projectile, at any instant of time. Velocity at any instant of time. To find out this velocity, we know that the horizontal velocity never changes. The vertical velocity, this one. So resultant velocity will be this. This is the instant velocity. So the instant velocity is given by root over, because this is vx square plus vy square plus 2 vx vy cos 90, because angle between these two vectors is 90, cos 90 is 0. Here you can write v bar. So the instant velocity at that particular instant of time is given by root over the horizontal velocity, which was given as ux. After some time also this will be ux only at that time, plus what is vy. To find out vy, that is velocity after some time, here let me use the same concept here. Here the velocity was 0. After t seconds time, what is the velocity in vertical direction? So v vertical is equal to u vertical plus at. The velocity at this point along y axis is given by uy is 0. It is given 0 plus this is g after time t. So the velocity in vertical direction is gt. So now in place of vy you can write gt whole square. So the velocity at any instant of time is given by root over u square plus g square t square, where ux is equal to some magnitude. We are taking only the magnitude u. So this is how you can find out velocity at any instant of time. And if they ask you to find out the angle made by this velocity with vertical or horizontal, they may ask you to find out with the vertical or horizontal. If it is not given, always you consider velocity with x-axis. So what is tan alpha? So this is u and this is gt, because just now I got this is gt, and this will be the resultant velocity, and I need this angle. So what is tan alpha here in this problem? Tan alpha is given by opposite side, that is v along y axis by v along x axis. So tan alpha is given by what is vy? Gt. What is vx? U. So alpha is equal to tan inverse gt by u. So this is the direction of resultant velocity or instant velocity. This is the magnitude of the instantaneous or instant velocity for a horizontal projectile.